Picture this. It's 2:00 a.m. You just got off a red eye into LAX. You're exhausted. You smell like airplane coffee, and you want your bed.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
Right. So you get home, you drag your luggage up to the porch, you reach into your pocket for your keys, and it's just lint. Nothing.
Your stomach just drops.
Completely. You check your bag, your jacket, the fake rock where you swore you left a spare. Nothing. You are locked out.
That moment right there, that is the most vulnerable point for any consumer. You're tired, you're desperate, and your critical thinking is, it's just offline.
Exactly. It's panic mode. So what do? You grab your phone, you type in locksmith near me, and the top result says 15 minutes away, $29 service call. You think, thank God, and you hit dial.
And that is the exact moment the trap snaps shut.
Today, we are doing a deep dive into the locksmith scam. And I don't use that term lightly. This isn't just, bad customer service. We're talking about a predatory system designed to exploit that exact moment of panic.
Yeah, we've gone through Consumer Reports, California state law, all of it. And it's essential listening, honestly. The data shows that the top search results in those emergency situations are overwhelmingly, well, they're what we call lead generators. They're not actual local businesses.
Right. And we're going to unpack exactly how that works because it really blew my mind. But first, since we're talking about safety and what to look for, we're partnering on this deep dive with Westpoint Locksmith.
Which is great because they're basically the gold standard. They're the example of what a locksmith should be.
Exactly. So if you just want to skip the whole nightmare we're about to describe, just save this contact now. Westpoint Locksmith. They serve all of Los Angeles. They run 24/7, which is crucial, and they have the 5-star reputation to back it up.
That 24/7 part is so key. You never lock yourself out at noon on a Tuesday.
Never.
It's always the middle of the night. You can reach them at 310-295-4040. We'll talk more about them later, but seriously, having a pro like that in your phone is the best insurance you can have.
Okay, so let's get into the weeds. The lead generator problem. When I search for a locksmith in, say, Santa Monica, I see pins all over a map. I see addresses. Are you telling me those aren't real shops?
A huge number of them. No, not at all. This is the really disturbing part. You have these massive call centers, sometimes they're not even in the state, that just flood Google Maps with fake listings.
Fake listings?
They don't just pick an address. It might be a 7-Eleven, a parking lot, an empty building, and they'll drop a pin there and call it Santa Monica Locksmith Services or something generic like that.
So it's a ghost, a digital squatter.
Precisely. And when you call that number, you're not calling a guy in a truck in Santa Monica. You're calling a dispatch center that could be in Florida.
And their only job is to capture the lead.
Exactly. They're lead brokers. They take your info, they hear the panic in your voice, and then they sell your job to a subcontractor in the area. And that subcontractor, they're often untrained, and they just paid a high fee for your lead.
So they have to make that money back for me.
You nailed it. That's why the pricing gets so predatory. The technician starts the job already in the hole.
Okay, so is there a tell? Like when I'm on the phone, how do I know?
There is a huge one. Listen to how they answer. If you're calling a company named LA Best Keys, and the person on the other end just says a generic locksmith or service, hang up.
Because they don't know which one of their 50 fake companies I called.
Exactly. A real shop, like Westpoint, will answer the phone, Westpoint Locksmith, how can I help? They know who they are.
That's such a simple trick, but it's brilliant. What about the price, the $15 service call? That just seems impossible.
Because it is impossible. Think about it. Gas in LA, insurance, traffic.
Yeah.
No one is rolling a truck to your house for $15. It's the bait.
So how does the switch happen?
They get you to agree to the low price, but if you listen very closely, they always say $15 and up.
The end up.
Yeah, that and up is doing a lot of work. Once they arrive, they look at your door and say, oh, this is a high security lock I have to charge for drilling, for labor. Suddenly, that $15 is now $400.
That is just infuriating. But what about the law? I mean, this is California. Doesn't the state regulate this?
They do, and this is where you can really protect yourself. California is one of only 13 states that require specific locksmith licensing.
Okay, who handles that?
It's the BSIS, the Bureau of Security and Investigative Services. You cannot legally work as a locksmith here without their license.
But how does that help me at 2:00 a.m. on my porch?
Because of the pocket card. This is your #1 tool. Every licensed locksmith in California is required by law to carry a state-issued photo ID card called the pocket card.
So I can just ask to see it.
You must ask to see it. Before they touch your door, if they say, oh, it's in the truck, or they try to give you a business card instead, that's a massive, massive red flag. Tell them to leave.
And what does that card actually prove?
It proves they've been vetted. To get that card, you have to pass a criminal background check through the DOJ and the FBI.
Okay, that's actually huge.
It's everything. Think about it. You are literally inviting a stranger to defeat the security of your home. You need to know they're not a criminal. The scammers in their personal cars, they usually can't pass that check.
You mentioned cars. That's another visual cue, right?
Absolutely. A legitimate business like Westpoint has branded vans, their logo, their license number, it's all right there. If a guy rolls up in a beat-up sedan with a magnet slapped on the door, you need to be very skeptical.
It's the difference between a professional and just some guy who bought a lead.
Exactly. And that brings us to the actual work. There's a saying, drills versus skills.
I like that. Break it down for me.
Okay, so the core skill of a real locksmith is lock picking. It's about manipulation, using tools to open the lock without damaging it. A trained pro can open 90 to 99% of standard home locks this way.
So they open it and my lock still works.
Yes, you get inside, life moves on. The scammer, though, they either don't have the skill or the patience. Their business model is speed and upsells. So the first move is the drill.
They just drill it out.
They destroy it right through the cylinder. Now, yeah, your door is open, but your lock is ruined.
And I bet they just happen to have a replacement they can sell me.
Funny how that works, right? They'll have some cheap $10 lock that they'll sell you for $150 because, you need high security.
So they charge you to destroy your property, and then they charge you again to replace it.
It's the classic break it to fix it scam. And they'll lie to your face saying, oh, this is a commercial-grade lock. It's unpickable. I have to drill.
Which is almost never true for a normal house lock.
Almost never. If they reach for that drill in the first 2 minutes, stop them.
This feels like a good time to bring it back to what a real pro looks like. We've been talking about all the bad stuff.
Right. And this is why our partnership with Westpoint Locksmith makes so much sense for this deep dive. They're the opposite of all of this.
We're talking about trust. I mean, you see those 5-star reviews, but it's more than that. It's about handling the modern complexity of the job.
That's a great point. It's not just metal keys anymore. You have smart locks, keypads, biometrics. A good locksmith now has to be part IT tech.
And Westpoint does all of that.
They do. They handle the emergency lockouts, of course, and they pick. They don't just drill. But they also do the complex rekeying smart lock installations. And here's another big one. Automotive.
Oh, car keys. That's a whole other world.
It is. Modern car keys have encrypted chips. The equipment to program them is expensive and requires real training. Scammers avoid it. They can't just drill a car's ignition.
So for a car key, you really need a specialist.
You do, and Westpoint handles all that.
Yeah.
So again, for anyone in LA, just put this number in your phone now, 310-295-4040. That's Westpoint Locksmith. They're the ones who show up in the branded van with the pocket card, ready to do the job right.
And 247. Can't stress that enough.
Never.
Let's talk about the bill again. We talked about the bait and switch, but are there other little red flags on the invoice?
Yeah, there's a sneaky one. Sales tax. Scammers will often charge sales tax on the labor portion of the bill. Now, tax laws can be tricky, but in many places, a service like this isn't taxed, but they'll just punch it in to inflate the total. It's another way to squeeze an extra $20 out of you.
And what about how you pay?
Cash is king for them. They want it to be untraceable. If they push for cash, or if they ask you to Venmo a personal name, like Steve123, instead of a business, be really careful.
A real business will have a credit card reader.
Exactly. A legitimate business wants a paper trail. They want to give you a proper receipt. A scammer wants to vanish.
So get a written estimate before they start and get a real receipt at the end.
That written estimate before any work begins is non-negotiable. A pro knows what the job costs. They don't need to figure it out after the fact.
Okay, here's a twist that I found fascinating. We've been talking about how we need to verify them, but you're saying a good sign is when they verify us?
Yes. This is one of the biggest green flags. Think about it from their side. A person is standing by a locked door saying, "Let me in."
Right. For all they know, I could be a burglar trying to get into my neighbor's house.
Precisely. A responsible, professional locksmith has a duty of care. They need to make sure you belong there.
So they should ask for my ID.
Absolutely. They should ask for an ID that matches the address. Or they might have to see a piece of mail, or for you to show them your ID once the door's open.
That's such a great point. If the locksmith doesn't care who I am and just goes straight for the drill.
That's negligence.
Yeah.
It shows they only care about the money, not about security. If they don't verify you, they are not a security professional.
It all comes back to accountability, doesn't it? The scammers are anonymous, the pros are accountable.
That's the perfect way to put it.
So let's distill this. Let's give everyone a cheat sheet for that 2:00 a.m. panic. What are the top 4 things to check?
Okay, number 1, verify the California license. Ask to see that BSIS pocket card. No card, no work. Simple.
Got it. Number 2.
Check the vehicle. Branded van or personal car. Pros, invest in their business.
Number 3.
Get a flat price, upfront, in writing, no in-up. If they won't give you a firm price, send them away.
And number 4.
Watch out for the drill. If that's their first move on a standard lock, they're not a pro, they're a predator.
I'm adding a number 5. Have a plan before the emergency.
Yes. The best way to avoid a scam is to already have a trusted number.
So take a second. Right now, open your contacts, add Locksmith Westpoint. The number is 3-gun-295-404.
They cover all of LA, residential, automotive, 247. When you're stressed, you don't want to be vetting people, you just want to call someone you can trust.
That number again is 3-gun-295-4040.
You know, there's one last thought I want to leave everyone with. We spend thousands on home security.
Oh yeah, Ring cameras, alarm systems.
We obsess over it. But then, in a moment of panic, we let a total stranger with no credentials and a power drill destroy the main physical barrier to our home.
That is a really powerful point. We bypass our own security because we didn't take 5 minutes to vet the person holding the tools.
Exactly. Security isn't just about the lock, it's about who holds the keys.
Well, that is all for this deep dive. Stay safe, check those pocket cards, and we will catch you on the next one.